What's up, my YouTubers and subscribers? Today I got a 2008 Honda Accord. It's a 3.5 liter. I'm about to do the AC compressor on it. I will let you see and know what you need to do before you take the compressor out. These are the tools that we're gonna need: an extension, screwdriver, some lights, ratchet. I got this like a breaker bar. That's my other ratchet. This drill. Depends if you want to use this. A cutter, and that's it. 10 millimeter, 14 millimeter, and I think 19 millimeter. Now I want to show you something before we get started. If you still have Freon in the system, you have to evacuate the system with an evacuating pump. You take these two blue things off, right here. This the low side and this the high side. The smaller one is the high side, the thicker one is the low side. As you notice, I got an AC gauge and I got a pump right there. Okay, the AC gauge come with color wise: red, yellow, and blue. All right, what we're gonna do, the blue one is gonna be for the low side. The red one is gonna be for the high side. So this is the low side. So what I'm gonna do, what you need to do is open this all the way. Pull this back like this and put it on this, and then let it pull it back and then let it go down and release it. We're gonna do the same thing for the high side. Turn it back. You're gonna pull this back and then you're gonna put it on. See, you hear that? I was trying to show you that because this is not backed up, and that's what happened when it's not backed up. Freon is going to come out of there because if your compressor just went out, it's still Freon in the system. You have to take it out before you take your compressor out, or you're going to regret it. You put it on just like that, and then you screw these in. Just like that, all the way down. Both of them. What I'm doing, I'm taking the Freon out of the vehicle. I'm showing you another way. If you don't have that stuff, the pump, that big expensive thing that put the Freon in, I'm gonna show you another way. As you can see, I got a bucket on the floor. What I did was I put some water in it. All right, you get your small bucket on that. This is the yellow side. This is where you put your Freon in at. We're not putting no Freon in. We're trying to take the Freon out of the system. You got to make sure these is closed all the way off for right now. Okay? You're going to take that yellow cable. And you see this right here? We're going to screw it down like we punch her in a can. That's going clockwise. Do it just like this. You turn it down like you're gonna punch the can. Like that. You back it up a little bit. Put it in the water. Let it sit in the water. And then when you sit it in the water, now you go up top, right here, and you open this up. A little bit at a time. And you can open the low side also. Now, I want you to look at that hand, the blue hand. It's at 120 right now. Look at it real good. You see it's dropping. You could open it a little bit more, but if you open a little bit more, the bubbles in the bucket gonna bubble more. So if you need to open it a lot, you're gonna have to get you a deeper bucket so the water won't bubble over the bucket. But as you can see, you see this hand? It's 120, it's going this way. And when it gets to all the way to about 30, that's when everything is out of the system. You cannot take the AC lines off right now, otherwise it will blow up in your face and you are not gonna like it. You have pressure in the system. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna close this side and I'm gonna open the blue side a little more so you can see it moving quicker. See that? It's moving real quick. I'm just showing you this to let you know certain things on your AC before you go ahead and you pull it off, because this is real dangerous. And also what's gonna happen is the freon is not going into the ear. All right, I'm gonna show you how the bucket is doing. Now if you look at the bucket, you see that? That's all the stuff that's coming out of the compressor. If it's air, freon, dye, that's what's coming out. So you gotta let that stay there and empty before you could take the lines off. But I'm gonna let that sit in the background and do its thing, and we're gonna get into this video. All right, in this repair. Hit that subscribe button, DIY Diagnostic and Repair. Okay. You see this hose? It's an overflow hose that goes to this bottle. We gotta take this off of here from the radiator. And what you do, you just come in the corner and you pull up on this bottle and you get it out the way. We gotta take these two 10mm bolts out. This fan is one we're gonna pull out. It's two fans, they're separate. So you don't have to pull the one out on this side, right here. But we're gonna take these two 10mm bolts out and put them somewhere you can find them later. You're gonna also have a connector that connects the fan. Let me see if I can pull it up and get it. But you know what? This coil right here, this is the 3.5 liter. It also has two 10mm bolts at the bottom. So we gotta go to the bottom and get that out. Now we're at the bottom of the vehicle. And if you look real good, there's a 10mm bolt right here where my finger is. And it's one, I'm gonna put this ratchet. It's right up in here by this little groove hook, like right here. Right there. That's the other 10mm. You see how this one is close to this bracket? You might not be able to get it out with a ratchet. So I got me a 10mm ratchet wrench. And you just break it. That's it. These ratchet wrenches are real good, man. If you're gonna be doing cars, even your own vehicle, you can invest in them. They make your job a lot easier. Now let's try to pull the radiator up from the bottom like this. And you can push it to the side, and the clip is right here on the side, so you can see it to where you can press it in and get it out easier that way. So we're gonna pick this up and bring it up through here, and I'm gonna show you how the plug sits. This plug stays in. The other plug plugs into this, and it's a clip on the other plug to get it off of here that you have to press to pull it off, not this one. This one is onto the bracket. All right, we're back on top of the car, and you see this plug that goes here? It goes to the compressor right here. See it? Right there. Go ahead and push that clip down and pull that out. And pull it backwards. Just like that. That's the plug. Just put it up top by the alternator somewhere right here so it can sit. So it be out your way. Okay? And now it's a 10mm bolt right here we're about to take out. That goes to that bracket, and put that out the way somewhere. Let's pull this one right here, this 10. But make sure when you're pulling that, all your freon is already out of the vehicle. I already broke it and got it loose. And when you get it out, you can just take it out with your hand. Look at my knuckles, just black. This is the DIYers, man. This is what we do. Take that bolt out, put it with your other bolt. You shouldn't have no pressure. Boom. And bring this up and put it out to the side. Now we're gonna take this one out. But you see this one? You gotta catch it from the bottom. It's a nut, not a bolt. So I'm gonna go to the bottom with my extension. And then you can pull it just like that. And what we're gonna do, you're gonna bring it to the bottom and let it just sit at the bottom. Now we're about to take the compressor bolts out. You see this? There's one of them, and there's another one right here on the other side. Those are 14 millimeters. And let's break those bolts. We're gonna break the ones at the top, but we're not gonna fully take them out. We're gonna fully take the ones out at the bottom first. We're at the bottom of the vehicle where we were earlier when we took those lines off. This is the compressor bottom. As you can see, those are the two bolts. This one and that one. All right. That one is out. That one is out. You can go ahead and pull those two bottom bolts out the compressor just like this. So now the bottom is free up. So now what we're about to do, we're about to take the serpentine belt off the compressor and then take the two bolts off from the top to get it out. We're about to take the serpentine belt off. I'm gonna show you where the nut is. This the tensioner right here. See this? And the nut is this nut right here. See where my hand is? Right here. That's the nut that we gotta pull back to get that tension off. I'm gonna point at it right here. That's the nut. All right, that's a 19 millimeter. And how we gonna do it? I'm gonna put a ratchet with this little breaker bar. So your ratchet gotta be in the taking off position, not the tightening position, the loosening position. If you're gonna do a bolt, and you put it on the bottom, that's too much because you can't get the, okay, right here. You're gonna put it right here, but you're gonna put this on top of it because when you let it go, it's gonna hit right here. Boom. Now what you're gonna do is make sure the socket is on, and you're gonna push back towards the firewall, just like that. And as you can see, the belt is up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull it off of the alternator. So I pull off the alternator and it's released. And it's just like this, right here. The belt is off. Sit it on the side, just like this. Just sit it to the side. You wanna either take a picture of the belt routing, or the belt routing is online. It's not that hard. Now we're about to take off the two bolts from the top. As you can see, I already got this loosened and the other one out here loosened. So we're gonna pull these out and get the compressor out. And this the top bolt. I think the other bolt is still in there. Let me make sure. Now both top bolts are out. Now the compressor should be ready to come out. Now you grab the compressor right here. It got some lips that it sit on. See it right here? And be careful with these screws, because it could hit your radiator and your condenser. You don't want that shit. Okay, now let's see how we get this out. We gotta maneuver it. Let me see if I can pull it up this way. What it look like we're gonna have to do is take this plug out, the alternator, just press it in and pull it out like that. And let's see if we have the room we need to bring this through here. See if we could get it out through here. Ooh. It's kind of hard. It's jamming up on this. Okay, let's turn it back the other way and kind of bring it the radiator this, the compressor this way, to see if it will come up better. The compressor is kind of hitting up on this, right here where the radiator is. I don't want to put a hole in it, and it's hitting up on the alternator, like right here at the bottom of the alternator, right here. So what I'm gonna do, and it's hitting here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this alternator out to get the compressor out. I did it before in another car, but it's simple and quick. I don't want to put a hole in nobody's radiator so I can pay for it. So we just got to do a little bit more work to get the compressor out. We're gonna take the negative side of this battery out. And the reason why we're doing that, because we have to take the alternator off and we don't want it to arc. We're gonna take this 10mm bolt out. We're gonna take that out. Take that out. Put it somewhere over here. I'm gonna put mine by the battery. That's for that to come off that thing right here. Then you're gonna come back around and you're gonna take off that cover that go over the nut and bolt right here. See it? It's a screw right there. We're about to take that out. That's the hot wire that comes from the battery. And that's a 14mm nut right here. Get that out. Now we're about to take this whole harness comes together. The one that you plug out, this it. This the whole harness. Just sit it up out your way somewhere for right now. You can just put it right up on there and that's it. There are two bolts on this alternator. One is right here, and it's another one at the bottom. If you look all the way down at the bottom, you'll see the other one. Right there. See it? That's the other bolt that we have to take out. What I usually do, I usually take the bottom bolt out first and then get the top bolt out last because it's easier that way. So we're about to take that bottom bolt out. I think that's a 14 also. It's a 14mm. You break it, and then after you break it, you could take it out by hand. So you get the ratchet back up off of it. And if you want to, you could just put your hand at the bottom and then just take that bolt out. Like I said, the reason why we're taking out the bottom bolt, because it'd be easier with the top bolt still bolted up, so it won't be sitting on the bottom bolt, so you'll have a lot of problems. Okay, now we're about to take the top bolt out, and the alternator is ready to come out. On this alternator, the bottom bolt is a 14, the top bolt right here is a 12, so it's two different bolts. Break it. Take that bolt out. Alternator just not gonna come out. What you gotta do is come between here and kind of try to pry it out. You see that? Because what it's doing is, when you tighten it, it sit up on that bracket. But you have to move this out the way, the compressor, so that it can come out. The compressor had it not coming out, so here. You see this bracket? It's another 12 millimeters sitting right here. Pull that bracket out. That bracket is bumping up on it. This bracket right here. Just take that bracket out. So this whole bracket comes out. And look how easy it's gonna be now. I could pull the alternator out. Here go the alternator. And I'm gonna take it out just for taking it out. That bracket make it easier for that to come out also. And then all you gotta do is take your compressor and come out the same hole. See that? Here go your compressor. Hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend, DIY diagnostic and repair. Okay, this is something that I need you to know about these compressors. You see the brand new compressor? This is how some of them come, the cheaper ones. Okay, now this is the compressor that came out, this Honda Accord 2008. As you notice, this top right here, the bottom hose goes here and the other one goes here. But if you notice on this one, it does not have this up here. So what you have to do is take this off of this one right here and put it on this one. But the problem I had, I could not get those bolts out of in here. It's got two small bolts that goes in these holes. I couldn't get them out. So what I had to do was cut them. And I'm gonna show you how I did it to get this out of here. Okay, I'm gonna take it out because I can now. I use a reciprocating saw. This one, see that? That's what I use to cut into the compressor. Okay, this is where I'm gonna show you where I cut. The port was still on top. So what I did, I came from the side right here. Right here. But you have to either have somebody hold this or put it in a vise to grip it. And you start cutting right here where that bolt is. And you cut until you cut into that bolt. And when you cut into that bolt, what's going to happen is the bolt is going to cut off, and then you can pull it out of this. You have to do both sides. But I got one of mine out on this side, so I had to cut this one out. But if you can't get both of them out, you can just take this and cut that bolt out, then turn it around on the other side right here, and then start cutting from here so you can get that other bolt cut, and then you can pull it up. This is how it is. It's an adapter. You have to take this off of this to put on the new one. You can also buy it with this on the new compressor, but it's going to cost you at least O'Reilly's, AutoZone, they were like $450. This, the customer bought it. It was $250. Then I had to try to get this out to put on top of the new one. So that's a little FYI if you can't get yours out like I did, I had to cut the compressor right where those 2 bolts was located, and I got it out. And also, don't forget, it's a seal right here. You have to replace that seal. My compressor came with 2 seals for the lines. I will replace those also, and I will let you see that video. But right now, we're gonna put this piece on the new one, and I'm gonna show you how it go. All right, just an FYI. Now get your little pick like this, and we're gonna take this seal off of this. Just put it in between it and try to go up and get it. This one is busted. So get your seal that you got and match it up with the right one. Okay, get your brake pulse cleaner, and we're gonna try to clean this out as much as we can right here. This bottom piece. Right here. So you put it over here. I'm just using a little bit of the oil, your compressor oil, and put it around the seal so it'll be easier to go into that slot in the compressor. Just lubricate it. Okay, that's it. Okay, before you put this in here, these compressors usually supposed to come with a card and state if they have oil in the compressor. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pour the oil out into this cup to see how much oil is in this compressor. What I'm doing is I got the scale, and you put it on grams. You put that cup up there, and the cup is 16 grams. You tear it off, so it go back to 0. Now I'm gonna try to put the oil into that cup, if it has oil in this compressor. Now this compressor has a little bit of oil. Let me see how much grams is in it. Now this compressor do have oil in it. It have 72 grams. So I'm gonna look up and see how much oil is supposed to be in this compressor, but this compressor has 72 grams of oil. That's over 2 ounces. 28 and 28 is 56. So it has like 2.5 ounces in this compressor. That's great. So all you do, you're gonna pour that oil back into the compressor. Pour it all back in. Okay? So this compressor did have over 2.5 ounces of oil. I will check to see how much is supposed to be in this compressor. Okay, now we're about to put that piece up top. You don't have to take this out, leave these in until you put them in the vehicle, because you don't want the oil to be draining out of this. So leave this one with this cap in here. Okay, now this one is the one we're gonna put this in. Okay? The compressor bolts up that way to the engine. So this gotta come this way. You gotta know where this fits. It's gonna go down and the hose is gonna come up. So you gotta make sure you put this on the right side. And remember, put a new seal in yours. Put it on there, push it in, and then I'm not using my original bolts because I cut them. I'm gonna use these kinds. These is compressor, not compressor, bolts anyway. They came out of different car, but all the compressors, the bolts are the same. Almost. So you put them in here and you're gonna tighten them down. I'm gonna use this because I've changed my setup, and just screw them in on both sides. Yeah, like I said before, if you don't want to go through this, what I'm going through, you could buy a new compressor with this already on it, but it's gonna cost you a lot of money. And also what I noticed, if I knew this one that I was gonna get, you can get this piece off of Amazon and eBay. This piece by itself, I think it was like 60 bucks plus tax. So you can get them, but local, I couldn't find it. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna kind of tighten these, put it snug, come back and do the same for the other one. And when you're tightening them, just make sure that you get them pretty snug. Now this is in. We're about to put the compressor back in the vehicle. Hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend. DIY Diagnostic and Repair. It's free. It don't cost nothing to subscribe. And hit that notification bell so when I drop new videos, you'll be the first to get them. Let's get into this car. On top of the vehicle, we're about to put the compressor back in. Put the compressor the same how you got it out. Right over here where we took the alternator out of. As you can see me coming in with it. And it's gonna go all the way to the bottom. Right here. Get your two top bolts. I'm gonna try to put this one in here and start this up here by hand. Start that one by hand. Get your other nut bolt and start the other one also. Right over here. And like I said, the reason why I pulled the alternator, it's easier. It might not be easier to somebody else, but if you want to punch a hole in your radiator, don't take your alternator out. And you're surely going to hit this radiator right here and punch holes in it. I don't want to do that. It's only 3 more bolts and a couple plug-ins, and that's why I took it out. So now y'all going to see the process. Now tighten the top bolts in a little bit. You could just put them in a little bit. Just like that. While we're down here, we're going to change the seal before I go back to the bottom. Get a pick, as you can see what I'm doing right here. I put the pick underneath and then I took it out. Match this seal up with your seal. One came in with my compressor, so I know which one to put on. So I'm gonna put this one on. And I also take some PAG 46. See this? Take some PAG 46. The seal is on now. Put some oil around here, the pack 46 that come for this vehicle. And make sure there ain't no dirt inside of this. See this? Get you a little napkin and try to clean that out. Put some pack 46 oil on your finger and just wrap it and put it on that seal. And this one is for the bottom. This goes here. So I'm gonna do it up top while I'm up top so you can see it's a nut right here. I put that nut in to hold this back in here. Take that out. See, it's a seal. And you're gonna put this up in it just like this and push it in. Right there, you can feel it when it go in. And put that nut back on it. That nut. I did it from the bottom when I was taking it out. Now I'm doing it from the top because you can do it from the top. The only reason why I did it from the bottom, like I said in the video, is to let you see me doing the repair. Yeah, hit that subscribe button though. Tell a friend, DIY diagnostic and repair. Just snug it up. When we go at the bottom to put those 2 bolts in, we will catch this. You can tighten it up here, but I get it better at the bottom. Also, you see this bracket? We're gonna put that in next too, but we're gonna do this one. We're also gonna change this seal right here. All right, you see how I did it a while ago, but I'm gonna see if I can show you again. If you did not see it, you put the pick in here, and you go underneath it, and you just pick it up, and you take your other finger and you just slide it off. Get your new one and put it on. Before you put it on, just make sure it ain't nothing inside of these grooves. Clean them out if you have to. Put your new seal in, or put your new seal on, and just stretch it over. And when it goes on, do the same thing. Get you some pack 46 oil, put your finger in it, and just put it around the rubber. Now we're about to put this one in that hole. So now you could take out that screw, that 10 millimeter. A lot of these AC compressors got the same type of bolts. The heads is the difference. It might have a different head on it, but all of them damn near fits the same. Okay, now you get the other line, you put it in that hole, and you push it in there, and you get your screw, and you put it back in that hole. Start it by hand, and then you can use what you have to use to get it in. Be careful when you're tightening these type of bolts though. I mean, it's aluminum. You don't want them to strip. You don't want them to mess up. That's a 10 millimeter. I don't know why. I got a 12. Wow. Let me put an extension on it. Snug it just enough. You can feel it when you tighten that nut. But you see this bracket? This bracket comes down and it goes right here. It bolts up to this right here. So get your bolt that you took out over here. It's a short one. It's real short. And put that bracket back in now. Let me see if this is it. Start it by hand like that, and then you use your 10 to snug it up. Okay, that's snug in, so it won't have no rattle. Okay, that's in. We're not gonna connect these yet until we connect the alternator back up, because it's a whole harness. We have did everything at the top that we need to do. Let's go to the bottom and tighten the bottom bolts and tighten this nut right here. Those are the two at the bottom. I'm gonna see if I can hold the camera and put them in them holes so you can see it, but it's kind of tight. You know, you put your hands right up in here, and you can put it in here and get to those two bolts. Start it by hand. I can't hold the camera and show it to you. Just start it by hand. For some of you guys that got big hands and can't get your hand up in here to put the bolts in, while the bottom AC compressor line. See that? I just took the screw back out to show you that you can put this in last after you tighten those two bolts at the bottom of the compressor. My hand is small. I could have do it with it in it, but I just took it back out. That's why I tell you, don't tighten those bolts. Now we're about to tighten the two bottom compressor bolts. Bottom bolts are tight. Now get that AC line that goes back at the bottom and go back up here and just take it back up top. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back up top and put it in from the top. Get that same line for the AC, put it back in here, push it up like we did earlier. Put that nut back on. We're gonna tighten this nut from the bottom. I'm just showing you from the top. Now we're gonna go to the bottom with an extension, and we're gonna tighten that 10mm bolt. Snug it up, and then give it a twirl. That should be good enough. You can feel when it tightens. You don't have to overdo it. So now, while we have all the lines hooked up, the compressor is in and bolted up, we are gonna evacuate the system while we are doing the alternator. All right, you could go ahead and do that now, and by the time you finish up with the job, you'll know if you have a leak or not. Let's get into that. I never disconnected this system. So what you do, you take this back off. This right here for the can, you don't need it right now. Take that out. And right here, it's a vacuum pump. It got different sizes. This one is for 134. I think this one here is for the 1234 R. I mean, something like that. You screw it on here. Screw it in that one, hand tighten it. You ain't got to go crazy with it. Okay, so now that is hooked up, that is ready. These should be closed all the way. All right, should be shut off. These should be closed all the way down. Turn your pump on, power. Hear it? It's not sucking yet. Now you go up here and you open these up and watch that come down to that 30. You open it up. You hear the pump change? Now it's sucking out all the air out the system. Open both of them. And what you're gonna do when this gets to the last hand right here, it's gonna be about, it's not gonna really be down to 30. It's gonna be in between the end of the 30 and the other one. When it gets down there, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna shut it off for about 5 minutes to see if it got any leaks. All right. So if there are no leaks, go ahead and keep evacuating the system. Now we're about to put the alternator in this car. It's nighttime in Texas, but we're gonna put this shit in. Okay. Here go the compressor right here, this bolt, and up here. So we gotta line those up. It's a longer port, so I'm gonna put that part in first. You see right here, it's long, it's bigger. That's the big hole, it's a small hole. I put the big hole in first to let it get in there. All right? Because the big hole goes at the bottom. The only thing is the bottom. You gotta find those two that I'll show you, and the other hole is right here. I'm not worried about this because when the bottom is lined up in the bracket, this will line up automatic. Right down there. See that? That's the bolt that you're gonna put in for the alternator bottom. Right there. Just put the bolt in and start it. You don't have to tighten it all the way. Alright? Now the bottom bolt is started. Get your bracket. That goes right here. It bolts up to the engine like this. Start that bolt by hand. That bolt is a 12 millimeter. Yeah, it goes like this. So we're gonna start it, and then we're gonna also start the alternator bolt. This bolt. Just snug that. Get your alternator bolt and push it up a little bit and find a hole for it. Go from this other side, and then you can find the bracket while it's loose. You can move it up and down to find the hole. Okay, that's in there. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna tighten all three of those. Just gonna snug that first bottom bolt. This bolt, the size of it is a 14 millimeter. And I think these here is 12s. So just that one bolt at the bottom of the alternator is a 14, and the other bolts up top is 12. Tighten them up, all three of them. Just like that. They're tight. Now we're about to try to get that serpentine belt back on. As you can see down there, I have the breaker bar with the ratchet on the tensioner. I'm about to put the serpentine belt back in. I'm doing it. Let's see. That should be enough. Let me see. It's kind of hard because they have like a... Okay, serpentine belt is on. Now we're about to connect back that power for the alternator. So peel that back. Put that over here and get that nut. And also get that bolt for right here. that 10 millimeter, get that and put it in there also. This is a 14, get that 14 millimeter nut. Start your nut by hand. I'm gonna make sure, I think that's that 14. Yeah, that's that 14 millimeter. Get your ratchet so that we can go ahead and tighten that back. Okay, that's tight. Put this cover back over there, that little rubber. Pull that rubber back over there, just like that. Okay, you see these connectors right here? This go to the compressor, and this one here plug in the side of the alternator. This one goes right here. And push that in, and also push that cover over there. And this one goes in the bottom of the compressor. I'm not gonna hook mine up because I gotta do some more work to the compressor, but you plug yours into the compressor. The alternator is in, the serpentine belt is in, the compressor is in. Now we're about to put the fan in. So get your fan. Now grab your fan. And remember, the plug is here, so this goes down. Put it down. Next time you do this job, you don't have to take the bottom two bolts out. You can leave those bolts in, because on the bottom of this, see that? It's got some cut-ins. It's got some slots. So you don't have to take the two bottom bolts out. Those two bolts that goes to the bottom to the radiator, I put them back in this way, so I can slip the radiator in it, so I don't have to look for the hole at the bottom. You can do the same thing and slip these in those two bolts at the bottom. Just go one way. There go your plug. And screw those back in. Supposed to be a little thing in here. If it's not, you have to put one in like a, to screw this in. Get your 10 millimeter. Tighten these two bolts. Okay, that's back in. Get your water bottle and slip it back into the slot. It's a slot right here. Slip it right back into it. Right there, just like that. And then take that and plug it back into this overflow. That's your overflow bottle. All the work is up here is done. We need to go to the bottom and plug that in, and then also tighten those two bolts at the bottom. Now we're at the bottom of the car. See that plug? Just get your other harness right here and just put it over it and just kind of push it up a little bit right there. You see it stayed up? Now get you a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to show you what I do. You take that screwdriver and you push this up. Boom. And that's it. It's snapped in. To make sure, just go back on the other side. And make sure it's pushed up on it. But I know it's already connected. Okay? So the plug is in, and all we have to put in is tighten this nut and tighten that nut. And your fan is back in. That's a 10 millimeter. Okay? Hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend. Like, comment, and share. DIY diagnostic and repair. That is the way how you replace your compressor in a 2008 Honda Accord 3.5 liter. Now you could go ahead and put your Freon in because the system is evacuated and everything is back together. Hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend. See you on the next one. DIY diagnostic and repair. Don't forget now, hook back up your battery negative terminal and your positive terminal.